away from the June 3rd to 5th staging of Sol Rally Barbados 2016. And there is news that double European champion Simon Jean-Joseph will be returning with co-driver Jack Boyer to go one better than his second place finish in last year's event. CBC's Shane Jones was at the Accra Beach Hotel this morning for the media briefing.
Sol Rally Barbados 2016 so far has 91 confirmed entries from a record equaling 17 nations. There will be 42 overseas crews with a record 73 international drivers and co-drivers, of which 26 are new. And there will be 15 female competitors, 1 driver and 14 co-drivers.
On day one, we're going in the north of the island as we normally do. The first stage is at Haggett's to Springvale. The second one is from Hangman's Hill to Mount Misery, using a lengthier version of that stage. And then the third stage, or the third venue for the afternoon daylight hours, is actually part of it is a very new portion. We're running from Mount Poirier in St. Lucie right down to Luke Hill. It's a lengthy stage, over 7 kilometers long. And that's going to be new to basically all the competitors, or part of it. We're actually then running a kind of a second route, which takes in 2 loops, 2 stages each at a reversed version of Cane Field, so we get to see the spectacle of the cars coming down to the Vaucluse 90 at night. And then we're running a reverse version we staged again last year from French Village, from Four Hills to French Village in St. Peter. On Sunday we restart from Carrington Factory, and we do a very tightly set route through St. John, mainly St. John and parts of St. Philip. It's 3 venues. We're going from Drax Hall to Poole in St. John, and then from Tappy Pond to Malvern in St. John, and then very short transit down to 3 houses in St. Philip, and ending at Padmore Village for the third venue stage.
This year, the finish will be a little different.
We are returning after a number of years away from the facility to Vaucluse, where we will have the finish of the rally, and we are running a conventional, or the old-time finish to the event, which was side-by-side competition as the cars arrive, more or less, and that is not for time. What you have to do is you need simply to cross the start line, record a start line time, and you'll be classified as a finisher. I'm going to avoid saying it's an expression session. It's not. Basically what happens is, because of the head-to-head nature, guys tend to take it fairly seriously, so we're looking forward to the finish event at Vaucluse, and already I've heard fans starting to prepare for that.
Sol Rally Barbados chairman Mark Hamilton reassured that all systems are go for the big event and Flo King of the Hill.
We try to change the event in small portions from year to year to keep it interesting, both from a spectator's point of view and from marshals, from a competitor's point of view, sorry. And I believe we've been very successful, Neil and his team, in achieving that this year. Our philosophy is that if it's not broken, don't try and fix it, but at the same time it's to add elements that make it interesting to all concerned.
Sol Rally Barbados, June 3rd to 5th, shaping up to be a great one. Shane Jones, CBC Sports.
The much anticipated drag race between Formula One champion Lewis Hamilton and top Barbadian driver Mark Maloney didn't materialize last evening, as the island received some much needed rain, making the track conditions at Bushy Park unsuitable. However, the second session at the Festival of Speed still had the wow factor from other events. We start the evening session with the second race in the Suzuki Challenge Series SR3 Cup. Several countries represented in this one, with Barbados' Mark Maloney in there with a real chance. However, Maloney would finish second to England's James Abbott. Third went to Guyana's Christian Jeffrey. This was followed up by the sheer excitement of the Banga Carers roof roll competition. Barbadian Jeffrey Elliott replaced Lewis Hamilton in the number 44 Banga Carer, and this event lived up to the name. was also a monster truck display. This FMX monster truck was driven over obstacles around the park. To the handicap race, one of the largest ever at Bushy Park. Mark Maloney would take this one in his Mazda RX-3. Hamilton was scheduled to bring the curtain down in the Festival of Speed, a drag race between himself and Maloney. Unfortunately, the rains came and put paid to that. The Formula One champ, however, did put in some fan drives to make up for any losses. On now to football, UWI Blackbirds have extended their lead in the Digicel BFA Premier League after last night's victory over Belfield. Blackbirds won the game 4-0, led by a brace from Mario Hart. Third place, Barbados Defence Force Sports Program recorded the largest margin of victory, beating Clayton's Colatonic Notre Dame 7-1. BDF scored the first 7 goals with 7 different players. And in the final game of the triple header, Lumasol Technologies Inc. Pinelands were still left looking for their first victory, going down to Rendezvous. Emerald George caught everyone napping with this opening strike for Rendezvous in the 16th minute. Was it a cross, looking for the assist, or did George see an opportunity? Doesn't matter, that's 1-0. Rendezvous would double up on Pinelands in the 31st minute when Romano Snag looked up and saw an uncommitted defender and an advancing keeper. Now that was a setup that was begging for a shot on goal. 3-0 came 6 minutes later when Dwayne Stanford ran a route up the middle. Snag picked him out with a precision pass and Stanford did the rest. Now both Rendezvous and Pinelands would score twice in the second half for Rendezvous to win it, 5-2. And in more football news, St. Leonard's are the Barbados Secondary Schools League Under-16 champions. The Richmond Gap boys blanked Alexandra in their final, played at the BFA AstroTurf. Early in the piece, St. Leonard's on the attack, initially dispossessed by Alexandra, but when Niall Reed-Stephen got it back, he wasted no time in taking a shot from outside the area and also between some of the players. Now that was enough to beat the Alexandra custodian for 1-0 after 7 minutes. Goal number 2 was from this corner in the 15th. At the end of it, at the far post, was Deshaun Howell with the powerful header. 2-0 was also the score at halftime. Now, going the other way in the 64th minute, Thierry Gill didn't have the best odds. He against the goalie and 2 defenders. But he played those odds and struck gold. Or should I say he struck a goal. St. Leonard's 3-0 over Alexandra, and they're the under-16 champions. There are a few Olympic moments that are so impressive that they'll make the international as well as the local reel. Tonight's one of that ilk. Bajan Olympic moments, brought to you by Sagicor General Insurance, Sandals Barbados, and Good Time Snacks. There are some things that can't be beat. Records will be broken, but some historical facts will always be forever. In that light, Barbadian swimmer Leah Martindale will always be the first black female to qualify for swimming finals in the Olympics. She did it at the 1996 Atlantic Games in the 50-meter freestyle. Leah swam out of lane number 1, which is to the top of your screen. Martindale was 5th in a time of 25.49 seconds, and that was a new Barbados record. Regional Olympic Moments, brought to you by Sagicor General Insurance, Sandals Barbados, and Good Time Snacks. I'll be back at 8:30 with more sports, where we'll hear what happened in today's IPL. But up next, business.
Make your home the envy of your friends. Shop